3回目なんですけれども、今回夏は2回目でたくさんの方集まって、もちろんインストラクターも一流が揃って、すごく自分的にも刺激になりますし、参加する方々にとってもかけがえのないこの夏を過ごしているんじゃないかなと思います。
Аз идвам вече за трети път в България през лятото и съм доволен от това, което виждам. Нали?
А вашите тренировки с какво се отличават, тъй като виждам, че абсолютно всеки един от инструкторите прилага своя собствен стил на преподаване? Вашите конкретно с какво бихте ги отличили?
指導者は違う教え方、違うやり方を持ちますけど、市販の指導仕方は、特別なことは何ですか？どうして他の指導者の教え方、どこで違うんですか？
僕は基本的に基本を大事にしているので、初めてやる人でも、僕ちょっと英語は話せないんですけれども、身振り手振りで極真のこの型の基本の素晴らしさを大事さを伝えることができたらなと思っていつもやってます。
Аз най-вече се старая да вкарвам силите в основите и най-вече в кихона, понеже аз не говоря английски, главно на японски обяснявам и искам всичките трениращи да правят кихона както трябва, да бъде изряден.
А правите ли разлика, когато хората от среща са на различни нива, или винаги при всички искате нивото да бъде еднакво високо?
練習者の中ですぐ違うレベル気がつきますか？気づきますか？みんな違うレベルすぐ気づきますか？みんな同じレベルの方が欲しいですか？
それぞれもちろんやっぱり帯も違うので、理解度はもちろんレベルも違いますし、そんな方々でも同じように必要なこと、大事なこと、こうしちゃいけないこと、こうしなきゃいけないこととか、そういうものは変わらないので、そういうものを改めて普段で言うと自分の道場の先生たちが教えてくれていることと同じようなことになるんですけれども、人を変えて言葉を変えて伝えることがまたその人にとっても受け入れやすいものになると思うので、すごく大事な機会だと思ってます。
Да, разбира се, всички са различни колани и начин на усвоение е различен, така че се опитвам да обяснявам по разбираем начин, така че ако може да ги уеднаквя или да бъде по такъв начин, че за всички да е полезно и да изземат максимум от моите обяснения.
А обратната връзка получавате ли, в смисъл така ви, когато идвате на различни дестинации, всъщност когато обикаляте, получавате ли нещо в замяна? Нови знания, може би нови техники, да научите от хората, с които работите?
市販は違うところに行って、いろいろなところに行って教えた時々、練習した人から、何か勉強できますか？練習している人から、お互いですか？
もちろんそうです。僕が伝えることもそうだし、もちろんそこを与えたことによってまた返ってくるものもあるんで、それがやっぱり素晴らしさですね、この極真の。
Разбира се, че така. Това е едно от невероятностите на киокушина. Учителя обяснява, но и той научава същевременно с това.
特にだから組手とかに関するものはもう先生生徒関係ないですね。与えられるものもう全て一緒です。
Особено при комите не е само учител ученик, ами при комите е нещо уникално. Винаги се научава нещо ново.
This morning we do Kihon Geiko and usually we training karate training, Kyokushin karate training, because we need one school technique. We big organization and we need do Kihon, Ido Geiko, Kata same. If I go in maybe Brazil, I know we do like this. If I go in Chile, I know we like this. And we all one organism.
So it doesn't matter in which point of the world we are currently in, so the KWU SENSHI needs to do all the same because we need the same level everywhere.
Yes, of course, we need to do this. We every time training in separate. Now we're training all together, and we will be better because we do all together.
And why is it so important to start so early in the morning? People are here from 6:30, I think, 7.
Firstly, very hot, firstly. But for your mind, this is good, because you преодолеваешь свои препятствия. Все время ты должен преодолевать препятствия. Это и есть киокушин.
So the early morning training is some kind of an obstacle?
Obstacle.
Препятствие.
Для некоторых это препятствие. Для меня нет.
It's really important to be rigorous to yourself, to the body, because sometimes your body feel like, okay, I want to stay in the bed, but if you know that you have an obligation to do, you have to obey to that obligation. You cannot just let your body decide what to do. So your mind should be strong and say, come on, get up and go and train.
And now we are seeing something very interesting. Sensei Nicolau Tarishvili made them jump on one foot and push each other. Why are they doing this?
That's actually for balance, so to get a better balance. Because in fight, or maybe not only in fight, but in any sport, balance is very, very important. So for the people who doesn't understand what the sport is about, for example, once I tried to surf, and I found it so difficult, and then for me, I was like, but it seems to be so easy. It's just jump on the board and then should be easy. But once you're there are so many things involved that your body should be able to adjust and to get the balance. And then when you see people fighting karate, so for people who doesn't understand much of karate, see, it's easy. It's just throw punch and kick. But no, you must have a good balance. Otherwise, your punch doesn't land very strong. Your kick is not so strong because you don't have balance. So balance is important in every sport, especially in karate.
We see today that we see this week that we have very different age groups. Balance is something very important. When is the earliest that a karate fighter should start learning or the balance? Something, it's not something that you learn, but it's something that you practice.
Yeah, actually, I think in every country they have a different way of. I don't know the word in English, sorry. But when the people should start training, is not really obligation for the whole world is the same. So in Brazil, for example, what we start training when we are 40 years old. So, but sometimes people with 2 years old also can do. It's all depend on the person itself. And then if the guys are very intelligent, so they can start very early. But the main focus is it doesn't matter what age you start, but once you start, you should never stop. And in my knowledge, back in Brazil, if they start too early, and I am very rigorous, and my kids start very early, and I push them so hard, and then they quit. So it's not so good to start really early if you push. But when I started training, I was 11 years old, and from that age, I think was a very good age to start training.
And you personally, which group do you prefer to work with? The younger children or the more skilled fighters?
Well, actually, both. I mean, not really special groups of ages, but it's very important for us to pass our knowledge to everybody, so in different levels of age. So it doesn't matter which age are you. So if you are 60, 70, 80, or 6 years old or 5 years old, it doesn't matter.
Okay, and finally, later is the World Cup. Varna, what do you expect to see?
Well, great fights, of course, and I know everybody is very concentrated and focused and waiting to this fight. But the important thing is that we must go to a tournament, we must go to a competition to try to do our best. But the most important thing is to be relaxed when we are going to do this, because sometimes we prepare so good, but then suddenly one thought is not right, and then you cannot be yourself actually. That happens to me when I fought in the second world tournament. I was so trained, so focused, like stamina good, but then at the day I get angry, and then you lose control when you're angry. So relax. So do your job, train it very hard, but the day of the fight or the competition, relax and enjoy the time.
I think the body is must not wake up, and wake up body and with kyokushin training and is the most important for me. I think. Yes. The tournament is the most biggest tournament in the world. I think for junior. Yeah. Every country representative and comes here, and I hope the high level. I hope to see high level fights also.
You're currently an active fighter, but this week you're going to be one of the coaches over here. How do you feel on the other side? Is it difficult? Is it? Yeah.
It is a difficult, but we have a kyokushin spirit. If any place and if any country, no problem. I think.
Okay. And are you currently enjoying the summer sun here in Kamcha?
Of course, I love this one. I love this camp, and I love the Varna and Kamcha also.
This morning training because afternoon many sun very hard training because morning 7 o'clock training now.
So is this better for the early morning training? Is it better for people to gain more knowledge? Because we know school starts maybe at 7 o'clock. And here I see you're working with the youngest group today. Is it better for them to start early in the morning, or is it better a little more to noon?
I think more better this morning. Because children very fresh and no problem.
Нека всички да се зарадят от енергията на слънцето.
Днес имаш възможност да поработиш с най-младата група, доколкото да виждам. Това ли предпочиташ, да работиш съвсем с малките, за да можеш да ги изграждаш вече като характери?
Ами да, според мен малките има доста какво да се научат, а пък вече по-големите те са научени, минали са през своя път и вече знаят какво правят, докато малките винаги има какво да ги научиш.
Днес върху какво се фокусирате с тази група?
По-скоро върху техника, после върху някакъв вид игра, да им е забавно на децата, все пак е лагер.
А забелязваш ли да има така малко повече ентусиазъм сред част от децата, въпреки малко по-топлото време? Все пак те сега са и във ваканция, предполагам са свикнали малко на по-свободно време.
Да, въпреки ранното ставане, да, доста виждам, че са ентусиазирани, усмихнати, което е много важно.
Today, well, this week, we have so strong sun, so I think we cannot train in a later time on, I think.
And today you're working with the younger group. How do you feel? Do you prefer working with them or with someone older?
Well, we are rotating every day, so we are changing. Well, actually, the young fighters in Bulgaria, they are really good. Actually, they have good kihon, good ido, good kata also, and that's why you have good kumite. That's what I'm feeling.
And what are you focusing on today?
Basically, the mindset and when they do the techniques, I want to think about breathing. How they breathe, not with here, with the stomach. So they're mentally will be healthy.
It's good to train in the morning because we feel more energy during the day. So we have a long day today, so it's good to feel this energy.
So it's good to start your day with training and not with breakfast, because people now are going to have breakfast after 1 hour and a half.
Yes, I have short time to breakfast now because there's the tournament, important tournament. But I'm glad to train in the morning. I'm glad we had a very good training. Everybody enjoyed, and let's work.
I was passing to them some basic training. You know, we have a very important part of our training, kyokushin karate training, is kihon. Kihon means base, the basics. So it's very, very important to young ages to understand the base. Once your base is strong, everything that you're going to build up is going to be strong as well. So we work on the base, and then we work some techniques moving on different kind of positions. That's we call Ido Geiku. This is also basic, but like I explained to them, this is the half of the training. You work on the base, work on coordination. Like I said, especially because they're younger ages. So now Sensei Everton is working on kumite techniques with them, sparring.
I can't fail to notice that you're working on basis no matter the age of your pupils over here. Today you're working with the younger boys and girls, but when you work with the older ones, you also sometimes go back to the basics because maybe this is the most important part.
Yeah, sure. This is the most important part. I mean, I've been training for the last, 40 years. It always train the base. You always have to remind your base. Like I said, once the base is strong, doesn't matter when you train, 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, but once your base is strong, you can be stronger. So everything that comes after that comes good, fine-tuning. That's very important.
As always, the camp is a very professionally run event that has many great instructors. So it's a pleasure for me to come along and be part of this group and teach for a session for the KWU SENSHI. I think that, as always, you'll see an array of fantastic athletes, and it makes for very good training and very good performances.
I can't fail to notice that you saw a lot of familiar faces here. A lot of the instructors are people that you've worked before. Are there some of the instructors here your opponents in the past, or were you just working together?
They were not opponents necessarily, but they were in the same championships as me. Normally in Japan the tournament is open weight, so some of the fighters are the same generation as me. Shion Masuda, I've been in 3 or 4 championships with, and also he's been to my dojo and he's taught in my dojo, and I've been to his dojo in Japan. So I've known him for many years. He's a fantastic ambassador for Kyokushin and a great leader, a great president for KWU. And I was at the first tournament where Shion Filio took part in Japan. I was in the later part of my career as he was starting his world domination almost.
And that was how many years ago?
Well, my first championship in Japan was 1984, and then my last one in the Kyokushin was 1991. So I did 3 world tournaments around then.
So this is a few decades ago, and one of my favorite questions actually to ask all the coaches here is, how do you see the Karate Kyokushin change in those past years?
Well, I think that people talk about the past with those rose-coloured glasses where they say, oh, it was much better in the old days and the fighters were tremendous, they're so skillful. But when you look at the youngsters now, and especially these young children that are fighting in the tournament this weekend, the under-22 tournament, where you've got the 15, 16-year-olds, their technical standard is higher than what we were for sure. They're much better prepared athletes. We didn't have professional trainers then. Now they're getting the best of the best, and if they keep doing it and keep performing as they are, they will surpass the performances of people of my day. Simple. It's like evolution. Football, whatever sport, it always gets technically better.
What can you tell them to have that longevity? What needs to happen in their lives to keep on going and pushing forward until they become Shihans maybe one day?
It's about desire. You have to have this desire to succeed, and even when you are finding it tough with different things in your life that are getting in the way, and that could be studies, it could be partners, it could be jobs, you have to make time for your own personal well-being. And karate is a very hard, or Kyokushin is a very hard sport. It's actually still about keeping people with a strong mental approach in life. And we see today too many children are affected by mental difficulties, which you didn't get so much in the past. I'm not saying it wasn't there, but now they have the feeling of giving up when they're struggling, and that's when they should push the most. So that desire, if they have that desire in life, whether it be karate, work, whatever, they will succeed.